But, can I zoom out a little bit? Happy Saturday, you guys. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, he says too. Here's a new guy. He just had a bath because he's got a little bit of rain rot and he's got a little bit of, scaly skin and stuff like that. So I bought some mane and tail and it's medicated and I need to shower myself. So I just made a little video of his bath and surprise you guys, he like pooped and it went everywhere. So, but here he is, skinny mini, really skinny mini, looking pretty awful. He's on an incline here, so that's why he's standing kind of funny like that. But here he is. We've decided, I think, to name him Friday. I think we're gonna keep that name. I picked him up on a Tuesday, bought him on a Sunday. No, Monday. Bought him on a Monday. But he's got that moustache, and he just looks like a Joe. So I think we're gonna do the whole Joe Friday thing for our older people, the older generation that remembers Dragnet. And then of course we have Jarvis, the AI for Iron Man, and Friday, the other AI. But I figured I'd pop on real quick, you guys, and see if you had any questions about him. I have, let me see, I want to do some live chats here, and wanted to know if you guys had any questions about him and what I'm going to do before I put up this next video. I have pieces of it. We're going to bring Jarvis home later on today, so that'll be in the next video too, and I can't wait. But he's doing okay. I'm sure he enjoyed this bath. He's so skinny. So skinny. I taped him. He is about 17.2, so he's about the same height as Jarvis, maybe a little 4 inches shorter. And he weighs anywhere between 1,288 pounds and like 1,200 and 1,288. And that right there is an 1,800 pound horse. It's supposed to be. So he is 600 pounds underweight. Why somebody would do that, I don't know. But you can see right here, that's rain rot. So the stuff that I have will take care of that. And he has a full tail, a full length tail. They didn't bob it. It just hasn't grown. They just cut it off like right there, probably when they cut his mane, because he probably looked awful. He's probably all covered in burrs and knots and stuff like that. But yeah, he just had a bath. He stands really super well in the wash bay, and we gave him a little bit of Pepto for that diarrhea that he seems to have, and you know, that'll get better. Can't think of a better name. I mean, there was a couple of names that I had thrown out there for him, but I don't know, even Friday seems to be a good name, but a lot of people are like, what do you mean, Friday, the day of the week? What are we gonna do Friday? I'm like, you always want to name your horse something that actually won't create more problems when you have to explain it, because that's no fun. You have to explain the name of your horse. Unless it's a really unique name. Like my girlfriend, she has a horse, his name is Suro, Tsuro, and then she's got another one. She's got so many different names. She's got a horse named Loki. Cool. Oh, thanks. Hi, Minnesota. Hi. He's okay. It's a beautiful day here. But I don't know, I can't think of any other good names for him. So I think we're gonna just stick with Friday. I don't know. Don't poop again. Everybody will watch you poop. So horses that are super skinny like this, and that are malnourished, the ideal way to get them back up to weight, sorry you get to see his behind, but the ideal way to get them back up to weight is slowly, because it takes a long time for that to go down, for have him look like that. Probably took all winter and half of fall. So you're looking at about 6 months, 7 months worth of malnutrition, neglect, and just poor horsemanship. You know, obviously he's had his feet done, because his feet certainly don't show a horse being overgrown for 7 months. Not really. I mean, Jarvis's looks even worse. His has been overgrown for 6 months. But so, oh, let's see. Aw, hi you guys. I'm happy to share my horses, and his road to recovery, basically. And so you want to put them a malnourished horse on a dry lot. That way they don't get all this rich grass and rich hay and rich food. Because if you think about it, say you're on a diet and you're like doing Weight Watchers or keto or paleo or some other type of maybe carnivore diet, and you've been eating that way for months and months and months, and then somebody comes by and throws a shrimp Alfredo or something like that. Yeah, Founder is pretty awful. And then you throw like a shrimp scampi or chicken Alfredo or some very high fat, rich, cheesy dairy diet to you, your tummy's gonna be telling you the next morning that you probably shouldn't have eaten it. So him, like when we got Jarvis was that skinny. That's how skinny Jarvis was. And Jarvis is 1850 or 1700 pounds. Sorry, 1700 pounds. And he still needs to gain about another 150 pounds personally. So you put him, like Jarvis was put in February on somewhat of a dry lot, and he had just hay and a little bit of grain and beet pulp over the whole winter, the rest of the winter, and through the spring he ate the grass as it came up. Well, he came off probably a dry lot, bad hay, no additional nutrition or fat, and now he's on here. So he's like, oh my gosh. So he's got diarrhea, but he's not foundering, which is good. Although I think he has had in the past, because he's got this really weird shaped foot. And you couldn't see it before, because there was like, literally, you guys, there was that much caked mud and nasty all attached to the outside of his feet. So you couldn't really see what his hooves looked like. Let me see if I can bring you over without this getting all like pixelated. Let me see if I can turn you around here. Turn around. So hopefully I won't lose you. Hi, sweetheart. I'm gonna come over here. Well, I lost you guys. Apparently, there's the line right there. Because the second I went on the other side of his foot, I lost you. But, yeah, so he's got a that I'm making. And he's got a very strange looking shape to it. But I'll let you guys see him. Oh, he's doing good. He's much better. We're just talking about him. You guys just joined in. We're just talking about the new guy, and unless you guys can come up with a better name, we're gonna stick with Friday. All right, I'm back. I gotta back up. Oh, I love how my router doesn't like go this far. But he's doing better. He's doing much better than he did when he first got here. I mean, he's been here since Tuesday. And I wish I could zoom in, but oh, yes you can. So there's his butt. And he's got all those muscles and everything. That should be like completely rounded out. He shouldn't be all sunken in like that on either side of his tail head. That's really, really bad. as far as weight wise. So he is about 1,288 pounds and about 600 pounds underweight. But he's gonna look really stunning when he fills out and that tail fills in. He's like, I just had a bath. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to stay over here. Don't go behind the tree. YouTubies can't see you. I don't know how far up I can go. All right, I'm going to try to come up this way, you guys. These are our apple trees. Jarvis will be very happy to have them back when he comes home. And he'll come home later today. And I'll have that on video, of course. Maybe he'll roll for you guys. You like Friday? Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured Friday was really kind of a cool name because it does go along with Jarvis, because Friday was the second AI of Jarvis. But see, Friday didn't really run all of Stark Industries like Jarvis did. Friday only ran his suit. But one of my friends, he's old military style, he's 75, and he likes Dragnet, so he's gonna think of him as Joe Friday. And this is the very first time, you guys, that I've ever had a horse that didn't roll after a bath. So I think he's happy a little bit. But I'm glad you guys like the name Friday. Braveheart. Well, Braveheart's okay. It's kind of a neat name. Oh, these horseflies are getting at me. But it doesn't go with, I guess, Friday. And then, like, I was thinking, I'm like, Olympus. That was a cool name. You know, because he's big and black. But husband and I talked it over when we had Darcy, because Darcy was my mom's horse. And she was able to name him. And I said, you know, the next time we get a black Percheron, I want to name him Friday. You know? So, I guess it's going to stick. So we'll name him Friday. Trying not to be too wiggly, you guys, because I had to zoom way in. I'm like really far out, see? Where is it? That's how far away I am right now. So, but it's gonna be weird. It's really strange having another horse, a black horse, you know, since Darcy passed away. It does give him character, Teresa. It does. He is quite a character, actually. He nibbles with his mustache and he gets into trouble. He's already getting into trouble. Oh my gosh, you guys. He was in Jarvis's stall. Yeah, isn't he gonna look good when he gets better? He was in Jarvis's stall and he pushed over a bucket that was in the aisleway that I didn't think he could reach. I'm like, what is he getting into? And then I heard it again. I'm like, yep, that's the chicken water bucket. So, yeah. So he's very good with baths. I mean, really good. And he pooped in the wash bay. So I don't know if it's his way of saying, hey, I think I'm done, or to try to get me to stop bathing him, but it didn't work. Even though it splattered everywhere because he's got diarrhea. And so I got I didn't get covered, but I did get a little bit on me. That kind of stinks. In a weird way. So, skinny horses. Let's see, what can we talk about? Nutrition on a skinny horse. You want to keep it as simple as physically possible, because you will get diarrhea like this. And I've been really watching him and want to make sure that he has plenty of water and he's got plenty of salt, and he's keeping himself personally hydrated. He doesn't eat normal food like grain and beet pulp, he won't touch it. And so if I put the electrolytes in his food, it just gets wasted. So maybe Jarvis will show him when he gets home that, hey, you know, you're supposed to eat this stuff too. But I suppose if you've had diarrhea for a couple of days, all you want to eat is like crackers. You really don't want to eat a lot because your stomach is so upset. And with him, he's staying hydrated, so I'm not worried about that. His heart rate's down, which is good. So he's not overly stressed from the trip over here, so he's relaxed a little bit. He even looks like he's filled out just a smidgen, so that's kind of good. I watched him on our trail camera, and I put the trail camera right in front of the hay, so I knew exactly how much hay he was eating. And he laid down in his hay and started eating it from the ground. And I mean, I've seen that on videos and stuff like that, but I've never seen it in real life, and I've never had a horse that would do it. But apparently, he likes to lay and snack. So I don't care as long as he eats. That's all I care about. As long as he eats and he gets better. Hi. Oop, I got an ant on me. One of the downfalls of sitting out in the pasture is that ants. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. Mine started off extra early this morning. I went down to our local hay store. There's this company called Twins Hay, and they're in Rural Hall, North Carolina, and they get a lot of hay. They had some decent hay over the wintertime when I ran out, and they have these flock swaps kind of, but it's more of like everything. They had goats, turkeys, rabbits, ducks, chickens, because North Carolina shut down chickens for a while. State health department didn't want to buy or sell any chickens. You couldn't take any in from the state agricultural veterinarian was out and said, yeah, you can sell chickens again. So we had some problems with a fox and some raccoons getting into the chicken coop a couple weeks ago before Darcy passed, and we went from like 17 hens down to like 9. And I think some of you guys probably saw that video. So I decided to go over there real quick and just to see what they had. You know, I wasn't looking for a full size because they're expensive. You know, people want $20 to $25 a bird, and I have all the meat hens, which they cost me like $2 something a piece. So this guy was selling his that were like coop ready. Basically, they have all their feathers. And they're about 2-3 months old, and he gave me one heck of a deal, so I bought every one of them that he had. So I've got way too many right now. So my neighbor where Jarvis is staying, she wanted to get her coop going again because of the price of chicken and the price of eggs have gone just skyrocketing. So I'm just gonna give her some of these ones, and that way she doesn't have to worry about it, because I figure Jarvis has been there for nearly a week now, and let's see, he was there before the weekend. No, he was after their Memorial Day. I think we brought him over on a Sunday. I don't remember which day we brought him over, but no, it was before then, because we brought him in the trailer, and then I picked up hay over Memorial Day weekend. So he's been there for a good 2 weeks now, and as you can see, the pastures kind of grow up kind of nice, and so you figure 2 weeks, that's a good $150 $200 for boarding. So I'd come over every night and just double check, but her husband did everything. I mean, he cleaned out his stall when he pooped in the stall, which was only once or twice, but he'd feed him twice a day like clockwork, and my other neighbor would go over and she'd ride him and do his feet. So I have like amazing neighbors out here, and now I think it's time to bring him home and introduce him to this guy who's been here since Tuesday, and he's been by himself, and I think now he's ready to have a friend. because now he's getting into trouble. We can't have a horse getting into trouble because that means they're bored. So we'll bring ours back home later on this afternoon, and that'll be fun. He's doing better. Once we get the diarrhea cleared up, then we'll bring him down to the veterinarian. His Coggins is good until the end of the month. He's from Georgia, you guys. So when I went and picked up his paperwork, he had a Coggins sheet from a gentleman in Georgia who, and then they bought him and brought him up here to North Carolina. And he was here for only like a week, maybe 5 days. And when I was at the feedlot, they were saying that he was going to be on the next truck to go out. So he doesn't, the feedlot that I bought him from doesn't ship out all the time, but they do ship out. Like there's a lot of feedlots that say they're feedlots, but don't, because the rescues buy them all up and everything. Or they just trade them back out to another trader, and they never ship out to slaughter. But this one does. And she said, like, before COVID hit and everything, that she would ship out like a whole truckload of horses once a week. And now all the rescues and so forth, they come up and they only ship out 1 or 2 horses. But because of his condition, they were going to ship him out if nobody, because a lot of people were interested, and then they see this and then they go, oh yeah, no thank you, because they don't want this. They want a horse that's ready made, one that's they can just put out in their pasture, and then the next day go on a trail ride or something and start to enjoy him. But you know, I kind of like these guys. I mean, I hate that they're in this condition, but I'd rather buy a horse that's in this condition knowing that I can bring them back to normal, I guess. Hi, what's going on? He's like, what are you doing? Hi, you want to come over and say hi? Probably not. He's still kind of antisocial, which is why I sit out here a lot. But when he's in the stall, like I don't stall horses. I don't lock them up. Yeah, he is cute. Thanks, Susan. Ow, ow, ow. I got an ant biting me. He is cute. He'll be even cuter when he gets a mane, because he's got no bangs. He's got no forelock. They like cut it all off, so he looks a little dopey. I don't know. A horse is supposed to have a forelock. I don't care if you braid it all the time. And I know that work horses, they always, roach the mane just like his is. And that's just to keep that from getting tangled up in, all the harnesses and so forth. But I personally like to have a horse with a little bit of facial hair, so to speak. So I can't wait for his forelock to grow out. Oh, I'm glad you like the name Friday. Ooh, Giovanni. Oh, I like that name. Oh, that's so cool. Oops. Wait. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you found my channel. Well, welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you like it. I don't do everything right, but I do try to do everything to the best that I can. So there's some people that are like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do it this way. I'm like, yeah, well, it works. There's a zillion, million, quadrillion ways to do everything in the horse world. And are they all right? Yeah, maybe. Are they all wrong? No. And there's always a better way to do it based on somebody else's idea. Right? Right. Because some people would tell me that I should keep him in a dry lot and only feed him hay until he gets better. But do it your way. Yes, I know. I think Jarvis will be okay. I took a blanket, ouch, darn freaking ants. Ugh. I took a towel and I rubbed it on him and I brought it over to Jarvis, and he didn't really seem to care too much. So I think he'll be okay. I think so. I hope so. His tail is absolutely beautiful from what is left of it. And his mane, I can't wait for that to grow out. I did cut Jarvis's this year too, because Jarvis tends to rub it an awful lot, and he doesn't like to have his mane washed. So I don't get to wash it as often as I wash him. and he turns into a jerk when it comes to doing his mane. So I didn't roach it like his, but I did cut it short this year. But I hope it grows back. I think it'll be really thick, like Darcy's. Darcy had this huge, gigantic double mane, and it just was absolutely gorgeous. And Jarvis has this wimpy little mane, and I think he's gonna have a really good mane. And I know his tail's gonna look nice too when it grows, because it's really ratty right now. It's like somebody just took some like stripping rakes to it and just ripped it all out. Poor thing. Poor guy. But he's here. He's gonna be well taken care of. And if he has Cushing's, well, I have some Darcy. I was gonna donate Darcy's medication to what is it? Devil's Cut Rescue. She does draft horses up in Pennsylvania. Her name is Lexi May, and I was gonna donate because she's got 2 Cushing's horses, 3 maybe, and then we bought him, and I was like, I don't know, he might have Cushing's because they clipped him. So we're gonna wait and see, get him tested. No, the vet has not been out yet, Susan, not yet. I've got a huge vet bill to pay for Darcy, so I'm kind of reserved on asking him to come out or bringing him in. But right now he's not showing any signs where I have to bring him in. He's still good, and whatever's going on, I'm more than capable of treating here. So we gave him a little Pepto today. He had a little pink moustache, and he seemed to really like it. He took it in. I mean, it's peppermint, and he had 2 ounces worth. So he did really good about taking it. He didn't spit it all out. So hopefully that'll take care of the diarrhea. And I'll give him another dose later on tonight. And if it doesn't clear up overnight, then I have some yogurt. And we'll give him some Stonyfield Farms organic yogurt with some probiotics. And we'll mix that all in together, and that should help his gut. But the thing is, you guys, and a lot of people forget, horses take a very long time to adjust to certain things. So if you change the diet, like in a dog, like sometimes you can just, give your dog new food, and sometimes you can't because then they get the poops. Well, that's kind of what's going on with these guys. It takes about 5 days for the bacteria in their gut to readjust to things. So let's see. My horse Joshua was hogged. Hogged? What does that mean? It grew out as a double. Oh, okay. All right. So he kind of like roached it, kind of like what they are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my manes do tend to have a mind of their own. And I'm not one of those people where it has to be on one side. Like one of my girlfriends, she is so awful about it. She's like, you have to train it to go on one side. I'm like, no, I like it all over. I like my horses to be horses. And I do admire everybody's like show horses and stuff like that. I mean, the amount of upkeep it takes to make them look good and, condition them and grooming. Oh my gosh, you guys, if any of my subscribers have show horses, kudos to you guys, because you put in so much work to get your horses to be show ready. And it's just amazing. You guys do so much. I guess I'm lazy, where I don't like to put a saddle on them. I just jump on them bareback. I have a rope halter. I don't have to worry about a bit or anything. And if they get dirty, they get dirty. I give them a bath, and then we go someplace. So maybe I'm a little lazy. I'm a little slow with them, but yeah. I guess it's a little different. And then you get the donkey people, and then the mule people, and they're obsessed with their mules. You ever tell mule people to get a horse, and they'll tell you to go fly a kite. I haven't been blessed with a mule yet, so one of these days, maybe. Maybe. Hopefully Jarvis has another 10 years, and so does this guy. Oh yeah, I have some detangler that I spray on the mane, because I don't really brush their mane too much unless they have knots. And thankfully Jarvis doesn't really have he doesn't get those fairy knots, like I don't know if that's what you guys call them, but down here they call them fairy knots, where it's just like a knot that's just kind of sporadically showed up in the middle of the mane. And use human conditioner. Okay, I'll give it a shot. And the thing with a fairy knot is it's supposed to be like a fairy has come out in the middle of the night and used that as a step to ride your horse in the middle of the night. So they have fairy knots. I don't know. Jarvis never got fairy knots, and his tail was always docked, so he never really had knots. Yeah, knots are the... No, you know what, Susan? You know what's the worst? Are those little burr things. Those little tiny, they're about maybe half an inch, and they've got all those little sticky burrs, like stick out all over them, and you need like peanut butter or WD-40 to get them all out, because then they just mat up in a giant, huge knot. Those things are awful. We had a horse come in, the border. I don't know if you guys remember. Her name was, well, her real name, well, Reba. She came to us and she had them all, those little burrs and prickers all in her mane and her forelock and her tail. It was just awful. But he's got some really nice feathers, you guys. All in the back where they cut them all off. He's got some really big feathers. So I don't know if he's a cross with maybe a Belgian or something. I hope not. His face is a little bit more blocky than Jarvis's. Jarvis's is a little bit more refined, and his is a little bit more square. One of my girlfriends called him a bullhead because of the I don't know if you guys saw on Facebook, on our Facebook page, Summerfield Farm and Draft Horses. I think I put it up there where he zapped himself on the fence. I mean, he's blind on this side, so he's blind on his right side. And I was out there kind of spending some time in the morning with him, enjoying my coffee. And I was watching him like, dude, you're a little like close to that fence. You're really, really super close to the fence. And then I was like, I better video this because he's going to hit it. And then he touched it once, but it was between the cycle. And then he touched it again, and then bang. So I hate to laugh, but it's kind of interesting when they learn, because he has never been behind an electric fence, I can guarantee you, because he doesn't know what happens to it. Let's see, what do you have against Belgians? I don't have anything against Belgians, Susan. They're just not a breed for me. I think they're absolutely beautiful. They're gorgeous. I love that they have the I mean, Noah was going to stay here. You know, he was going to be my next riding horse. It just didn't work out. But I'm kind of partial to the personality of the Percherons, you know. The Percherons, for me, now everybody, I mean, there's a lot of people that like different personalities with different horses. You know, they'll say that the Paints are psycho, the Arabians are just bananas, your Appaloosas, they're temperamental, your quarter horses are boring. You know, it all depends on what you personally like. And in the draft horse world, people call Percherons as the Arab of the drafts, because they're, I guess, they're a little bit more flighty. I guess they're a little bit more animated. I guess they're more mischievous. They think a little bit. They're kind of as close to a regular horse as you can in the draft world. And most people that have drafts, they work with them. So they want a horse that's going to obey really super well and just kind of do what it's supposed to do, learn super fast, like one little thing, and that's what they do. And they don't need to have a horse that's going to be an unwilling worker. Well, let's just put it that way, because it's not safe. If you have a flighty horse and you're hooked up to, you know, a manual hayer, it's dangerous. Everybody can get really hurt. And so your Percherons are usually for your carriage horses, because they are a little bit different. They can tolerate the amount of walking that they do all day a little bit better. They tolerate the heat a little bit better because they're not as big and bulky as some of the others. So for me, I just I like the Percherons. And I'll tell you, I really didn't want one. When I first was looking at the drafts, I did my research and I was like, I don't want a Percheron because they're kind of short and stubby, and they I didn't like the way that they looked. I wanted a Clydesdale or I wanted a Shire. And I ended up getting a Percheron who is very leggy and who's turned out to be the absolute best horse in the whole entire world. So that to me was like, all right, let's look for another one that's like that. There are two different types, just like in the dog world, you have your field spaniels and your like cocker spaniels. You have your field body type of a Labrador, and then you have your home body thick tailed type, Labradors that aren't very athletic looking. So it's just like that with the Percherons, apparently, where you've got some short, stubby ones, which are good for pulling and so forth, and then you've got your long, leggy ones that are good for like carts and stuff like that, and dressing up and showing and everything. So that's pretty much that with them. I mean, I do like Belgians. The guy that I'll be with tomorrow, he's got a ton of Belgians, and I'll be able to meet his two. He just bought two mare Percherons from the auction that he's going to breed with his Belgian stud. So hopefully, maybe one of them will have a colt, and I'll buy the colt from him. Who knows? But is he gonna poop, or is he just got gas? If he poops, I'll turn you guys away. I don't need you to watch him poop. So I don't have anything against Belgians. They're just not my personality type. They're a little slower, I guess. I don't know. They're fun. They're pretty. And Noah was a lot of fun. He was cool. He had a brain. He just really did a bunch of stuff. He probably could have done much better here if he was about 10 years older and ready for retirement. But he was young, and he's doing great, by the way. I just got a video of him doing some stuff in the field with his new owner. So he's got work to do, and he's doing what he needs to do until he gets to the point of retirement. Great question. Great question. Oh, I had horsefly. So maybe he'll lay down. I think he's got a little ouchie on that one foot. That one that looks a little weird. But we've got to bring Jarvis to the farrier on the 8th, so he's going to come with us. I don't know if the farrier will do his feet, but at least he'll go for the ride. Because he, just like a dog, he needs to be socialized. And Jarvis is going to need to share the trailer. So on the 8th, which is Wednesday. Which is weird. I don't know. I don't ever make a farrier appointment on Wednesdays. Usually I make them on Thursdays because my farrier's there on Thursdays. But we're going to have to see somebody new this time. And I was starting to do Jarvis's feet on my own. But it didn't quite work out that way. My hands are not strong enough to do and maneuver the clippers. Oops, sorry. For Jarvis's feet at the moment. So I'm going to have another farrier reshape them, and then we'll go from there. Because Stable Horse Training and Rehabilitation, Graham Bull up in Canada, he has this really, really great class that you can take that's full of videos on how to trim your own horse's feet, and it's extremely reasonably priced. And any other updates that he puts on it, you're allowed to have access to. So he's one of my favorites. If you guys go over to his page, Stable Horse Training and Rehabilitation, he's pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely agree. There are so many people out there that have a horse that isn't right for them, and they end up getting hurt, or the horse gets hurt, and they do the horse a disservice, and they do themselves a disservice, really. Because if you're not a match, Yeah, Mr. Wildy, he is cool. Hey, did you see the other one? I'm sorry to get off topic, but he's got another one. I think he's got 3 Wildies there now. He's got the first one, of course, and then he's got the mare, the light white one, the gray mare, and then he just got in the baby, and it's a dun colored baby. Baby Annie, yes. That is cute as a button, and I saw her with oh, what's her name, Gracie, the other day. Okay. Yes. So mismatched horses. Little Miss Annie. Yeah, she is cute. She's a cutie. My mom watches the Alberta Wildies on YouTube, Saving the Alberta Wildies, I think it is. And they have like trail cameras on their Wildies. And they're real. I mean, I've never seen a grizzly bear chase a horse. I guess if I had no clue that grizzly bears ate horse. But I guess that's the thing that they eat. They do. You know, I think the Wildies up in Canada seem to be a little bit more laid back than the Mustangs down here in the States, to tell you the truth. I'm going to agree with you, because he didn't seem to have a great trainer. He seemed to have a lot of the trouble that some of the people down here with our wild Mustangs seem to have. I mean, the wild Mustangs, it takes a while to gentle them, but for him, it was like, I don't know, would you agree it was like a week? I think it was. Where all of it was just like, yep, got a halter on him, and yep, guess what? We're doing our feet for the 3rd time, and they're standing perfectly ground-tied. I need to calm myself and center myself. Yeah, it certainly wasn't long. Certainly wasn't long. So I think he's going to be a really great addition. I love him to pieces already. He already gave me a hug in the stall, you know, like when they wrap their necks around you. So I think he definitely knows that he's going to be cared for here, and he just needs a friend. So I can't wait to bring Jarvis back home later on today. So I guess I'm going to leave this here, you guys. I've been out here for 40 minutes, and all he's going to do is just stand there and eat anyway. And I guess, thanks for popping in, you guys. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out and watching and answering questions and asking questions and so forth. I'm going to go inside and get some lunch. I don't even know what time it is. Hey! He's learning. Well, so I'm going to get that other video started, you guys, and I'm going to take that other video of Jarvis being released tonight, and yeah, I'll probably have that up tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to go to the place where we brought Noah to be harnessed, and I'm going to be doing some haying. So I'm going to be driving a team. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. I'm excited, but I'm going to drive a team of his horses, and we're going to do some haying is what they call it when they cut the hay manually. And yeah, we're going to have a great time. I'll have that all on video, and that'll be a lot of fun. So I got a lot of things coming up, you guys. We got new chickens. We'll be putting those in the coop. No big deal. And the babies are getting really super big, and they're going to be going outside in another couple days too. So get a lot of things going on. Hopefully I can get all these videos up for you guys, which is why I went live today. I figured I'd just show you how he's looking and how he's moving, and you can kind of see him the before type thing and watch him progress, because he's going to be fantastic when he gets older. And, well, not really older, but when he fills out. He's got 800 pounds to go. Jeez, that's so long. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again next time. You're very welcome, guys.